the last thing she says before leaving the stall is, make sure you snort it off the toilet seat. And then she like leaves. And I'm like,
am I tripping?
hi guys. So today I'm going to be telling you a story. And I know what else you're thinking before we get into the story. Hannah, what the fuck is all over your face? I will tell you. So my story, this story is the first time that I ever went to a rave. I did like my rave makeup, because I like sticking sparkly things in my face. Like, I don't have to give you a reason, I can just do weird pretty makeup, but I'm giving you a reason anyway. Okay, and we're rambling into the story. Okay, so let's go all the way back to January of my sophomore year, so exactly 2 years ago. I decided that I needed to do something different. I needed to do something rebellious. I needed to do something cool. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go to a rave. I'm gonna be one of those kids. I'm gonna be crazy. I'm gonna do drugs. Like, I'm gonna be this cool ass rave kid. So I find a rave, and it's this one in Wichita. It's called Nerf Corps. And I get all the information from a friend of mine, this girl who is yeah, looking back at this editing, I'm realizing that I'm not looking at the camera at all. So yeah, I'm really sorry about that. I hate myself, but you know, live and learn. Known for this, and I get all the information, and I think, okay, if I'm gonna do this, I gotta do this right. I better be rolling or tripping or doing something at this rave, because that's just what kids do at raves, right? That's my 16-year-old thinking. And keep in mind, this was before I had ever seen any drugs. Like, I had drank a couple of times, but I had never even seen, like, a little nug of weed even. Like, I had never, like, the extent of my drugs was like Tylenol. Like, I had never seen anything before. I'd say, yeah, I'll take some Molly, enough to blah blah blah, do this. And I think I gave her like 30 or 40 bucks for that. I don't even remember. But the night of the rave comes around. I've made myself some little bracelets, like candy. I've picked out my outfit. I'm going with a friend of mine. And I've got this whole plan. Because even though I was like old enough to go, because it was a 16 and up rave, I like didn't want to tell my parents because I thought they'd say no. So I came up with this whole big elaborate lie of saying I was going to go see a movie with all of my theater friends at the farthest theater away from us that I could possibly think of. And they're buying it, blah blah blah. And so then I make the mistake of texting all of the people that I told them I would be with to be like, hey, heads up, I said that I was going to be with you tonight, but I'm actually going to a rave, so if this ever happens to come up in conversation or anything, we went to see this movie this night, blah blah blah. And so I text like 5 or 6 people that. Well, what I didn't find out for months afterward was that one of my good friends, her mom sees her phone, and she's got the previews on like her iPhone to where you can like see what the beginning of the message says, and she sees that I say this, and so then she texts my mom and she goes, hey, I think your daughter's gonna do this, blah 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 blah, and she tells my mom. So I'm just in my room with my friend, like happily getting ready for my movie, for my rave, and I'm like putting on my stuff, and then I'm putting on my pants and my shirt over my stuff, and I'm ready. Like, I got it all decked out. I feel so hot. These like little shorts, this little crop top. I was feeling it. So then my dad calls me down, and right away from when he like calls my name, I like hear in his voice, I'm like, ooh, something is wrong. He's got his like serious dad voice on. So I go downstairs and I stand in the kitchen, and my friend's still upstairs still, so he's like not gonna yell at me or anything, but he's like, what are you doing tonight? Even though I'd already told him what I was doing, he like asked me again, and I was like, oh, I'm going to this movie with these friends, blah blah blah. Repeat the same story to him. And he's like, oh, well then I'm sure you won't mind if I install this tracker on your phone, will you? And I'm like, on the outside I'm like, yeah, sure, no, it's no problem. But on the inside I'm like, are you freaking kidding me? Like, tonight of all nights. So he's like installing this thing on my phone, and he's making sure it works before I can leave, blah blah blah. And this whole time I'm thinking in my head, okay, what am I gonna do? Like, I am not backing out of this now. I already spent the money. I already have my outfit. I'm not back. I'm going to this rave. Like, it is happening. It is happening. So they get the installed, blah blah blah, and I come back up to my room, and I'm like, and I tell my friend, gosh, we'll just pretend her name is Anna. So I go, okay, Anna, here's the thing. We gotta go to the Warren tonight. And she's like, what? Like, put all of this effort into going to this rave. What are you even talking about? And so I was like, okay, my parents are tracking me on my phone, and I am still going to this rave, but I am not about to get in trouble for lying and going to this rave, and I'm not about to like back out of anything. Like, everything is still gonna happen. This is what we gotta do. We've gotta hide my phone at the Warren so my parents think that I'm there. And it's foolproof because they can't text me because I'll be in the movie and I can't text. So we do it. We like start driving there. I leave my, at first I was gonna like take my phone in and be like, oh hey, I found this, blah blah blah, or have Anna do it. And then I would go in later that night and be like, oh hey, it's my phone or whatever. But I was worried they would like keep it or something, think it was like a scam or something, because like, I don't know, I was worried. That just seemed a little sketchy. So we went to the far side of the building, and they had these like bushes on the side, and I was like, guess I'll just hide my phone in this bush. Just stuck it on up in there. And then we like made our merry way to the rave, all the way across Wichita. This was in like West Wichita, and the rave was in like East Wichita. And my poor friend, she didn't even live in my town. She like drove down from my town, then she'd drive back up the next morning. So like, she probably went through a whole motherfucking tank of gas like running around that night. But so we get to that rave, and I find the girl, and with the Molly that I like bought from her. Like, I already paid her and everything. Oh, and I want to mention another thing. I was so hardcore about getting my story straight. I even bought a ticket to that movie that I was gonna see, and I didn't even like, I just bought it. I didn't even go into the movie or anything. I spent an extra like $10 on that. I spent like $40 on this freaking Molly that I was gonna take, and then I spent another like, oh gosh, $10 I think. So that's $60 that like went into this rave. Anyway, I tracked down the girl that I'm buying the Molly from, and I think in my head, like, all of the Molly that I've seen in movies and like on Tumblr and shit, because you know, I know exactly what I'm talking about, especially at that age, has been like these little pills, like these cute little pills that you just like swallow, you just throw back, whatever. Well, she like pulls me into the bathroom. We all cram into a one-person stall, not even the big stall. All three of us are in this tiny-ass stall, and she gives me this little baggie. This little baggie, like this big, full of yellowish white crystally powder. And I'm like, I'm completely flabbergasted. But I'm trying to be cool, so I'm like, oh yeah, awesome, cool. And I'm like asking her questions. I'm like, oh, well, I have to go home at the end of the night, like, what's gonna feel like, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, oh, like, I'm on like 4 or 5 hits, like, I'm great. And her like pupils are like the size of dinner plates. And I'm like, okay. So she gives it to me. And the last thing she says before leaving the stall is, make sure you snort it off the toilet seat. And then she like leaves. And I'm like, this is like way too hardcore for me. Like, keep in mind, at this time, I'd never even smoked a cigarette. Like, I was like, Anna, this is meth or heroin. I don't know what this is. Did you know it was gonna be like this? I thought it was supposed to be a cute little pill that I just swallowed. And so, long story short, I did not take that. I stuck it in my shoe, and I hella pretended that I took it. Like, I saw her later, and she's like, how do you feel? And I was like, dude, I feel great. This feels great. Rave! And yeah, I was completely 100% sober. So I have this Molly in my shoe, and we head home. Oh gosh, after, like, we probably only spent like an hour and a half there, but like, I had fun, I danced, like, it was a good time. We took lots of pictures, it was great. So then we head home, and I still have this Molly in my shoe. Like, I didn't know what to do with it. I probably should have like flushed it down the toilet, but dumbass 16-year-old me is just like, da-da-da-da. Like, not trying to waste $40, but like not trying to take it either, you know what I mean? So we're driving home, and we just pull out of the parking lot, and we turn the corner, and there's a cop behind us. Cop lights, they're pulling us over, and like my dumbass self is like, they know, they fucking know. How did they know? I can't go to jail. They're gonna arrest me. I can't call my parents. I can't, and so I'm like having a panic attack. I'm like, I can't, please don't make me go to jail. Like, I can't, I'm gonna be somebody's bitch, like, I can't. And so I'm like internally freaking out. The cop sits in the car for like 15 minutes, and then he approaches the car, knocks on the window, she rolls it down, and I'm like sweating bullets, and I'm like, be cool. And the cop leans over and he goes, hey miss, did you realize she had a tail light out? So 40 minutes later, after he writes a very detailed report, gives her a warning, tells her how to replace the light, we head back to the Warren so I can pick up my phone from there. So I go and I like made sure to count the right bush, blah blah blah, and I reach in to get my phone and I can't find it. But then I find it like 15 minutes later, but yeah. And I completely got away with it. No trouble at all. I thought for the longest time, like I didn't know that that parent had texted my parents. And so I was like bitter and angry for like months after that, because like I figured the only way that they like would have known anything about it was for like reading my journal. And so I was so hateful. I was like, how dare they read my journal, blah blah blah, make me feel unsafe about writing, blah blah blah. Like I was like, was livid and angsty. But yeah, that was the first rave I ever went to. I kind of felt like a badass until I was told to snort what looked like crystal meth off of the toilet seat, and then I was like, I am a small child and I cannot do this. So I hope that wasn't like an anticlimactic story. If you guys like my story times, if you think they're funny, give me a like, let me know down below. I have some more crazy stories, but they'll be coming more along down the road. Like, I've got a lot of drug-related stories because I did go through a period in my life where I experimented, and I'm kind of worried about putting that out on the internet, but at the same time, it's kind of like, it's like interesting, and like I would like to write a book about it because it was a very unique set of experiences. So I hope you guys have a fantastic night, and I love you all. Bye.